Cádiz, the Phoenician origin, a walk around a city. In the year 799 BC, somewhere in Cádiz. Hello, I'm Matabal. It means a gift from the good ball, but my family called me Matam. I'm 11 years old and I live in Cádiz. I nearly forgot to mention that this is my cat Kipir. So we go for a walk around my city? This is the port, one of the most important in the West. Phoenicians have always been good seafarers. My father worked here as a trader, and that's his boat. He was born in the great city of Tyre, and met my mother in one of the old western villages. She is part of a family of legendary kings. They are called Abdesum and Astil. They built a house in Gadar. A few years ago I was born there. Here are my parents showing the merchandise that they bring from very distant places. Look at that what my father has in his hands. It's a painted ostrich egg. Exotic object brought from the east and exchanged in the Gadir for silver of Tartessos, oil, wine, cereals, and many other things. Follow me, I have a surprise for you. The origin of Gadir. All historians say that Gadir, along with Utica and Lixus, both in the north of Africa, were founded 80 years after the Trojan War, at the end of the 12th century BC. However, the current oldest traces don't go further than the 19th century BC. The great importance of Gadir is due to its port and its proximity to Tartessos, which was in a part of the present-day Western Andalusia. It was a region with many precious metals: silver, gold, iron, copper, tin, and lead. In a short period of time, Gadir supposed that foundation of other colonies in the coast of the Iberian Peninsula and the north of Africa. The famous Circle of the Strait was when created. Alliances and trade links were stated to their cities. This is the rooftop of our house. Good views, aren't they? We are in the highest part of the city, in an island that we call Erythea. The island of Conituosa can be seen at the end, and Balhamon Temples is to the right. Gadir is very similar to Tyre, because Phoenicians built cities in places which are very similar to the city of origin. The houses are low and they are in narrow streets, which lay down towards the port. Our houses are built with rammed earth and the streets are paved with clay. Do you want me to tell you a secret? Because we threw out our rubbish in the street. We have to pave them very often to prevent bad smell. It is as if it was hidden. Let me see you my house now. This is one of the main rooms. We carry out many activities in it. We work, we eat, we have fun. The floor is also made of clay and we usually cover it with carpet and mats. Look, my cousin is weaving a Spartan glass basket right now, and his wife is making a wool blanket in the weaving workshop. The dwellings. Phoenicians' houses didn't have a lot of rooms. They usually had a kitchen, a large-sized room, and other smaller rooms for different uses: a storage room, workshop, etc. All the houses have a kitchen, with an oven where bread is made. Our bread is a flat bread. We have it with all our meals. There is a cooking stove beside oven, casseroles or pans are placed on top. It's still warm, delicious. Would you like to taste a little bit? The people in my village are expert in making pottery using a wheel. Also, they like making some pots by hand. This is the potter's wheels, where we put clay. The potter molds it in many different shapes. Even full set of dishes can be made. The jug is looking very nice. Now let's go for a long walk towards the island of Cotinusa. Pottery making. One of the most important advantages of Phoenician culture was the spread of pottery making using a wheel, which was more resistant than pottery made by hand. Each shape had a different use, and a foreign waste for storage and transport. Bottle for oil, jugs for serving drinks, plates, bowls, etc. The red color of the enjoy or the geometrical painting decoration was characteristic of pottery making using a wheel. Almost all the pottery made by hand were kitchen tools and large treasure plates to store food. Oof, we arrived. There are three temples in Cádiz, the temples of Baal-Hamon, Astarte, and Melkart. This is the temple of Melkart. It is very important because he is the god that protects our city, the sea, seafarers, and trade. We don't come here just to worship Melkart. It is also a place where many trade agreements are closed and organized. Prayers are very important in our village. Along with the religious work, they are also in charge of recording trade in Sangea. Here is a scribe priest who is writing on a papyrus. He then rolls and closes it with a piece of string and clay, seal called cretula. Did you know that it is Phoenicians who have disseminated the alphabet around the Western world? Writing. Priests always had a great social and political prestige. Their position was passed on their descendants along several generations, and their functions also covered administrative and political matters. Phoenicians created a linear alphabet composed of 22 consonant signs, without vowels, which were written from right to left. Documents that were of importance were made on a papyrus and were scaled with a cretula, or clay, seal, which was stamped with a right with the symbol of the person or entity in question. Shh, keep it, we have to speak very quietly. We have arrived to the necropolis. Necropolises are usually outside of the cities. What we are seeing is the cremation ritual. The ashes are kept in a urn and buried in the ground with objects related to the life of the dead person. Yes, ma'am, I'm on my way. Well, it's time for me to go and have something to eat. I'm very hungry because we have walked a lot. I hope that you have a good time and that you will visit me again. As my father says, may God bless you and give your life. The real story of our characters. The characters of this story are inspired in the findings of Cádiz archaeological site. Both remains of an habitant of Cádiz are located there. DNA research has shown that his father was a Phoenician person, while his mother was of Indian origin. The skeleton of a domestic cat on an alley of the city can also be seen. The name Matan comes from the graffiti writing on a ceramic bowl found inside on one of the dwellings excavated by archaeologists in this site. Did you know that Gadir has many linked cities in the north of Africa? These are one of the closest cities. Lixus, later, one of the most important Phoenician colonies in the western Mediterranean. Most of its ruins currently show the Roman splendor. Places to visit: the old port, the temple area, the theater, amphitheater, the thermal baths, and the impressive fish stalling factories. Cosas: this is a settlement which played an important role in the cycle of trade, mostly during Punic time, 6th century and 3rd century BC. It was an important mainly because of trade activity and pottery production, renowned in Gary and all its area influence. Tamuda, Teutan. The initial period of occupation in these places go back to the 6th 5th century BC, during the 1st century AD. Romans built a camp defended by several towers.